Hi Internet viewers, this is Frank Rauscher again. We're going to start a new project today. We're going to be doing a Carolina Wren, and this is the guy right here, and hopefully this will be another challenge. This has the tail going straight up, well, almost straight up, and it's a real neat bird to do. It's got a lot of personality, and we will proceed on in showing you how to do the whole thing. I'll take you step by step, cutting it from a block of wood right on up to the finished product, painting and everything else. So bear with me, and I'm going to switch it down with my camera, and I will show you the pattern I developed, and then we can go from there. All right, we're back again, and hopefully you can see everything well. I made a pattern for the Wren, and we have a top view looking down, and we have the profile view, and then I have the top of the tail as if you were looking in on this, and the bottom of the tail, and then the head itself. This is what the top of the head would look like if you're just looking just at the head, and these are dimensions here. And then if you're looking in, straight in, this is looking at the front view of the head as you're looking straight in. I'll probably put some markings in here. I'm just starting to realize that just like AA is looking this way, it's this. Because when I make blanks and I cut it out, I turn the head. And the reason why I turn the head is because it gives a lot of realism to the bird. When they're straight on, they look too stiff. And in nature, birds are usually turning their heads to the right or to the left. So it gives a lot of movement into the piece, even though it's stationary. And it really shows up really well. So I tried to cut out a blank. I cut it so that the head is turned already, and you don't have to deal with any seams or anything like that that's being developed along the way here. So just try to straighten out on some of the ways the pattern is reflecting here. If I put this bird in view here and look straight down, this is what we have as you are looking straight down on this bird. And what happens is the tail is actually going down into the paper, even though it sort of looks like it's flat here. It isn't. It's actually recessing down. Of course, the wings are dropping down and they're on the sides here. So I'm projecting a view the way it looks as we go straight down. It isn't exactly to scale. It is in the sense if you actually measured this after you shaped it up. But in reality, this is all to scale. It's just scaled to the size I have here, which is an actual size of the Carolina Wren. Now, in the frontal view, or the profile, I should say, not the frontal view, the profile view, this here has the head going straight. And if you notice, I've turned it here. So all the measurements here is looking just at the head. If you got a sheet of paper and just covered everything else, you're developing the head. And we're using a center line here, and we will establish that. And we're also going to have a center line for the body, and I'll show you how to do that too. But just want to show you how I'm projecting things here. This view here is this looking true straight down. This here is looking in this way, but the head is turned straight only to make sure the measurements, because whatever you're doing on one side measurement-wise, you got to do it on the other side of this center line of the head. This center line of the head is one center line we're building off of from one side to the other. The body center line is the same. It's symmetrical about that center line as well. So you have two different center lines, and we got measurements for each one. So I just want to clarify that. And then you could see this is actual scale of what the tail should look like, both top and bottom. And even though this isn't projecting that way, it's almost like this tail here is actually tilting straight up. So I'm just trying to get you to see the projections and how it goes. And these are just additional measurements as you're looking straight on at the bird in a frontal view, and this is a top view. And instead of clustering all the measurements onto this top view, I took the head and moved it over here, and everything is built off of that center line. So I just want to clarify that. It gets a little confusing at times, but that's what we're going to try to do. So from this, I came along and I got a hold of some cardboard, and what I did is I laid this sheet down, and I got a sheet of cardboard. I used graphite paper, but you can use carbon paper, it doesn't matter. And you want to come along with a ballpoint pen. Let me see if I can get one here. This, of course, every time I go to grab a pen, it's everything but a ballpoint pen. And here we go. You can get a ballpoint pen, and what you're going to do is you're going to outline this one with the carbon or the graphite paper going onto a piece of cardboard. And then I go through the whole outline of it, and then I end up with this, okay? Then the same way for the top view. I come in here, I go around with a ballpoint pen all around this drawing, which transfers onto my cardboard that's underneath, and then I cut that out, and this is how I get my template for the top, okay? So these are the two primary pieces that gets us started in making a blank. So if you wanted to make your own blanks, you could do that way. All you need is the pattern. If you ever need any of these, as far as the patterns, the blanks, and a blank is this here, it's after it's cut out, I can supply them to you if you need them. So just want to show you how to make these as you get started for the first time. Now, the width, which is very important for the Carolina Wren, is measuring from my drawing here, and these are to scale. It's about 1.5 inches. So you need a piece of wood, as you're looking down on it, 1.5 inches, okay, at least this thickness. And in the case of this piece of wood, this is about a 2 1/4, so we got plenty of wood here. So I'm going to get this piece of wood, and I'm going to lay this down. Hope I'm in view here, because I don't want to keep secrets from you. I'm going to get the profile view, and I'm going to find out what's the best way I can lay this in here without wasting a lot of wood. So I'm getting a ballpoint pen. I get my pattern. You can flip it to the right or to the left. It doesn't matter at this point. And I'm going to lay that in there. I'm going to start outlining and get my ballpoint pen all the way around, so I have the outline of the bird. You want to hold it steady so it doesn't move on you. And around here like so. So now I've transferred this pattern onto here. The other thing I also wanted to state to you that I didn't, which in doing this board, this is basswood, by the way. I do most of my, almost everything I carve in basswood. This is 2 1/4 inches thick, but it doesn't have to be. We said that the width across here was 1.5 inches, so you can get like 1 3/4 inches or 2 inches. This happens to be 2 1/4. I'm going to use this piece here. Now, you also have to have the grain going with you. The grain in this board is going this way. So what's good, and I'm going to put an arrow in here just so you can see, that's the direction of the grain. It goes either way. It's running through the board here. So you want to usually go with strength. Where we did, like here was a bird I did here, and when I laid it out, I had the grain going right through here. It's going through the beak, and the tail is slightly tilted, and so are these feathers here. If you were to carve this out with a knife, this is going with you. The strength of the grain is going with you. But in the case of the wren, because the tail is sticking up, it's actually going against the grain. So we're doing power carving, and this is ideal for power carving because you don't really have to worry about the grain. But I always try to put the strength in the piece with the grain still going as much as I can. We need the strength for the beak. We're losing it because if you see the way the direction's going, we're going against the grain when this tail goes up. But if you are doing knife carving, you've got to be a little more careful as far as when you're carving this out by a knife, okay? I want to let you know that. So we're going to mark this up like this, and we also know that we have enough thickness that when we go to come and do the top view, we got room on both sides here, so we can cut that out. So for this video, if we can get this much done on the piece, that on the next video, we're going to cut this out, and then I'll take you on the next step where I'll show you after we cut this out how we project this down onto that piece that we cut out here. So I hope you're getting something out of this, and I'm hoping I'm not confusing you. I know I have this upside down right at the moment, but that is the outline of the profile. So if you stick with me, this will be a real pretty bird to do. It's got a lot of personality, wrens do, and this is it here. I'm hoping I'm tilting this in the right direction so you can see this well. And it's a real nice bird to do. So bear with me, and we will march on. This is the first video on the Carolina wren. And if you enjoyed what you learned and everything else, I'd ask you to give me a thumbs up. And if you would subscribe to my channel, that would even help me out great too. So appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next video, and we'll cut this out, and I'll show you how you do that. And then I'll also show you how we project the other view to get us with the head turned. Thanks a lot. See you in the next video.